Well, we're back again and we have another piece that we're going to put on the bash tracker. In this box we have a recessed foot pedal plate. We got this from Baldwin Ironworks. They make them for all different spec type foot pedals from Minn Kota, Lowrance, Motor Guide. We're going to get this opened up. All right, so we got this all opened up. They give us a drain hose. They created a plug right here so it will drain out. And I decided to get the version that gives you a cup holder and some spots for your tools. And this is the cup holder they give us. Here's our hardware. That's nice. I think it even has a little drain for that too. So basically, after everything's said and done, it's going to be looking something like that. And again, this is from Baldwin. So I'm going to bring you through the process of installing these. I've never done it before. We're going to be giving it a shot. We'll see how it goes. So if you're going to follow what I'm working on right now, please don't do step by step. Wait till the end of the video. Make sure I get this right. Yeah, we're going to get started. Right now we're just laying right on top of the deck. And I think it's going to be a lot nicer if we get that kind of falling into the deck. It's just going to give us a little more space. I am running a Minn Kota Ultrix. It's connected to a foot pedal. It's a 36 volt 112 thrust, which is a very, very nice trolling motor. And yeah, we're going to get this trolling motor pedal installed in the deck. So stick around. This ought to be a good one. Or it's going to be terrible and I'm going to cut a big hole in the top of my boat and regret it for the rest of my life. Let's hope not. So I've pretty much taken this plate off, I'd probably say about 4 or 5 times while I was doing the fish finders. What we need to do here is we're going to make a bunch of moves here. I left an extra wire here because I wasn't sure when I was going to be doing this. I knew this was in my plans to put a floor space in here. So today's the day. And I'm nervous. I'm a little bit nervous, but let's get after it. So this will be sitting in this area here. I'm not going to overlap this area here. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all. So let's pop this out. I want to know how far I need to go. I want to make sure I can take this on and off whenever I feel like it, and if this is not going to obstruct if I want to make changes to fish finders and upgrades. We're going to find the center point. Baldwin does give you a lot of information. They have a code right on their box so you can watch the video of installation, and we're going to do that right now. The reason I have this flipped over right now is I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to overlap this unit right here. So I know I got to have at least an inch away from that. This panel right here. So yeah, let's check out the video and then we'll be back and we'll create our video of how we're going to do it. All right, first we're going to get a measurement here, figure out what our center is. I got 44 inches. Well, that's easy enough. So 22 is going to be our center point, and we made a mark right here for 22 inches. Now we're going to find our center point on the prep. So that's going to be 5.5. So that's the center of our deck at that point. Seems like that's taking a lot of space, doesn't it? All right, like I said, I don't want to go over that panel there. And I want to make sure that when I put this plate on top, that the plate is going to be just coming to that edge. So that hole here on the Baldwin is our center hole. That is going to be center. I'm going to measure the back section. It does need to come over just a little bit here. That looks good. I'm going to put another mark right here. That's going to be center. You can see here I got both my center points now, and that should help us out a lot to getting this set up the way we need. All right, so what I decided to do is go ahead and staple the template right down to the floor. Now I'm going to tape all the way around it. So that should be our hole. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reinforce that with a second layer. I have a rod box here that my rods go right under here. I'm going to make sure they're out so when I do my cutting, nothing's going to get affected. No poo-poo will get on my rods and that kind of thing. Okay, we got our rod box cleaned out. Okay, so when you're at this point here, it's best if we use a straight edge. I mean, we should be good with our edges here, but I think it's really good to use a straight edge and get a good straight cut. You definitely want to make sure too that you have a brand new blade on. Don't fool around with a used blade. You know this is a very strict cut and you want to do it perfectly. All right, let's make these cuts. Now this is just for the carpeting only. Now, if everything went well, this should all pop up. I want to be very cautious about how I tear this carpet out. If you see any strands, you want to get after them early. Well, the glue is fighting me a little bit here, but actually I'm happy that the glue is holding tight, because that means my edge where I'm working should hold nice and tight. Glue's doing a really good job holding this tight. Now hopefully that's going to be a clean enough cut that we're going to be able to take our jigsaw through here. We're going to drill a hole as an entry point to get started, and then we're just going to run the jigsaw through and just really take our time and be as careful as possible. That's all we can do. I think it's best if we're not like right on the carpeting. We want to stay off the carpeting a little bit. Yep, we got some foam. That rod tube might be in the way. Well, there's no turning back at this point. Yeah, so I bumped into the rod tube and I ended up actually damaging them. I don't really use the tubes all that much, but it kind of stinks that they got damaged that way. We're like right alongside the rod tube. You know, the rod tubes are going to have to be removed, so I guess in a way, if I hit them, right? They're going to be in the way of the box. I mean, that's going to drop in. Get a measurement on that. How far are these going to drop down? Close to 4 inches. Oh yeah, they're going to have to be cut. Just is what it is. I mean, at this point now, you can't turn back. All right, another thing I figured out over the times of being a carpenter, you might have noticed that I turn the blade off before I start just pulling it out. A lot of times it'll give you kickbacks, and you're just better off just to stop the blade, then come out with it. And same thing with putting it in. Don't start the blade until you're actually in the wood. You know, it sounds like simple to everybody else who's worked in wood before, but you know, if you're a noob on this, you may not know that. I'm not going to cut this corner out. We still have a lot of cutting on this side to do. We're going to cut that section out first, and then we're going to be able to we'll take that piece corner out last. So let's do that first there. All right, so now we can square up this corner. All right, moment of truth. Moment of truth. Yeah, so I ended up getting into those rod tubes a little bit, which you think would bother me, but actually, I'll be honest with you, the rod tubes are a little bit of a pain in the butt. So I'm gonna see if I can even maybe pop these couple out. I may have to go into the rod locker and see if I can pop these things out. You watch. Yeah. So there's one. Now this tube, I was able to take the rest of it out. All right, so it's just a tube at the other end. Had a little small screw in there, that was it. Easy peasy. Popped them right out. Popped them right out. We're gonna have a lot of vacuuming to do. A lot of vacuuming. Start sucking things up. Let's see what we got to do here. Uh-oh. Come on, baby. It's a little tight. I think she's gonna go. Yeah, we're good. We're gonna get in there. We can pull all this up. We're done here. My opinion is pull towards the hole. So if you do get a snag, you're pulling the carpet back into the hole, not out and away. So I said, pull in towards the hole, pull that carpet towards the hole. Do a little more vacuuming, and we're going to be ready to throw down on the install. Now, before we go smacking this thing down, there are a couple things we have to think about. There is a drain hole. We need to make sure that that drain hole is definitely set up. It's very warm, so the sun's going to help us out here. Drain hose is going to go down there. We want that to the closest to the bottom of the boat as possible. If it rains while we're out there, there is going to be some water that's going to go down in there. Should make it to the bottom of the hole, and hopefully it'll come out where it's supposed to at the end of the day. Let's get this thing in. It's going to be a tight one, but I think we can do it. Let's get our, where's our mallet? Where's our mallet? First thing we want to do is to make sure that hose is making its way down. Hose looks good. Looks straight. If only. I don't think it's going to fall in that easy. Now, I don't want to go bending this up. And that last hit kind of gave me a little bit of a bend. I don't want that to happen. All right. Well, I guess in the scheme of it, you'd rather be a little bit snug than a little bit loose. Might be able to just shave it down with the blade. just needed to shave away a little bit. Let's get the wood cleaned up. I think we got it at this point. All right, let's start getting everything in. Now you see we have these little screw holes here, and that's going to get that all screwed in real nice and tight. And they provided us the screws, going to fall right down in there. Nice and tight, it's not moving anywhere. We're going to be shortening this wire too, now that we have a dedicated space for where the pedal is. This is going to simply go right over top of this, like so. And our screws should just jack it right on in there. Got this little strip here. Protect our cord a little bit. Okay. So now I'm just taking my time and snugging them into the carpet. Each time I pull them in, I'm pulling the tray down tighter into the box that I cut open. So I want to be careful I just don't drive one in and break a screw. The one thing that I didn't really factor in too much, and now you have to factor in, is that you're screwing into plywood. And plywood is different layers of wood, and it's kind of can be very breakable. So I had a spot here where the wood kind of broke away. So what I did is I tightened everything first, and then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to put this on a little bit of an angle. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to leave that be. I'm happy with what we got there. It's looking pretty good. Really a very nice upgrade. Oh, what am I doing here? Got the cup holder. There we go. Looks really good. I'm hoping that this isn't going to be a problem. I may have to reach in here to hit this. I don't think I'm going to be able to tow that, which I like using these the autopilot and all that. So this could be a little bit tough. I may have to go in there and hit it with my finger, but yeah, that's the way it is. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm going to put one more snug on that one. And I hope I don't regret it. We're good.